Okay, howdy ho everybody, it's me again and I'm going to be doing another reaction video today. With this one being 3 creepy true school lockdown stories that Mr. Nightmare done. There's a chance I may react to the whole video, but if not, I might chop out the last story. And a link to the original video will be in the description box down below. And, well, let's dive on in. Here we go.
This is something you guys have been requesting the hell out of for a long time. It took a lot of time, but I finally...
make sure you... I'm not sure if these three have any social media accounts, but if they do, make sure you go follow them as well.
We found 3 stories that take place during school lockdowns. It was a typical boring day in calculus, only it was Friday, 7th period, meaning the week was almost over and spring break would finally be upon us. So everybody was getting antsy in their seats, I could tell. We didn't have a test that day.
Yeah, that's pretty normal. That's actually pretty normal. Because, yeah, if it's getting close to summer break, I think a lot of people... I think everybody knows what that's like. You get kind of antsy with, start getting all fidgety and just want, come on, hurry up, Ronald Bell, please hurry up, I wanna go home. Yeah, I think that's how everybody feels, and I don't blame them. Yeah, because believe it or not, I was a kid myself, so I know the feeling.
Like a lot of my friends did with their other teachers. So our teacher in the middle of class just decided to start playing games with us on Sporkle.com. He was a very laid-back teacher like that.
That's a really cool teacher.
Grand logo quiz on Sporkle, I remember the exact moment it happened. Right after my friend answered a question, I remember the exact answer too, Adidas. The dean's voice came through the loudspeaker. He sounded panicked and frantic as he told all the teachers this was not a drill and to go into lockdown. I actually got the chills, and I got goosebumps on my arms as our usually laid-back teacher too seemed panicked as he ran to turn off the lights and ushered us to the back corner of the room.
Yeah, if you got a teacher who you know is usually a laid-back person, and he or she is feeling rather frantic and stressed, probably be a good time to take the teacher seriously. Because you never know, it could be something with deadly consequences. No pun intended.
We all sat in silence for about 2 minutes, and then the usual buzzing that came from the panel in the back of the room ceased, indicating that the school must have cut all the power. We all looked at each other, realizing this must be serious. A few more minutes of waiting later, we heard a man screaming at the top of his lungs coming down the hallway. 2 girls in the class actually started crying, which made all of us even more scared.
You best hope that the guy don't have a gun, because if the guy has a gun, then probably you might want to keep the noise level to a minimum. Unless you want the government to know what classroom you're in.
As the screaming got closer to the classroom, the lunatic-sounding man started banging on the lockers while screaming, "I'll kill all of you." It was at that moment that I started to fear for my life. My teacher
I don't blame you.
us as we
Anybody would be scared for their life.
Our peers' reactions. The banging then moved from the lockers to our classroom door.
Okay, now the worst thing that can happen is if one of the girls who's crying starts to scream or shout out a certain phrase like "no" or "no, please don't" or "please go away" or anything like that. Because yeah, that's just gonna make the person with a gun want to come in the classroom, and yeah, he ain't gonna hesitate to use whatever weapon he has.
And that that's when one of the crying girls screamed no.
Oh, come on, seriously?
The banging on the door only grew worse as the man started screaming, "Open up."
You know, I
Two
know
of the
it's
girls in
hard
the
not
class were
to,
crying
but
out
trust
loud
me.
now.
I know it's hard not to, but trust me, if if you have someone bang on a door, try and see if they can get a reaction, don't scream out any phrase. Just keep your mouth shut and don't freaking scream. Otherwise, the gunman, in this case, will know that there's people in the classroom and will want to break in. And yeah. And yeah, trust me, sometimes being quiet can be a good thing. That's why you got the phrase silence is golden.
It felt like an eternity that man was pounding at the door. But eventually, he finally continued down the hallways, screaming like a mentally insane person, until we could not hear him anymore. I'd say 10 minutes later, though it felt like half an hour given the situation, the dean came back on the loudspeaker explaining the situation, which was surprising for him to do. He explained that some apparently mentally unstable person entered the building and assaulted the woman sitting at the front desk, causing her to flee the building screaming, and staff wasn't sure if the man was armed or not. Now, this was before the school had cameras or could afford proper security, so the school was wide open to something like this happening. The staff had done a sweep of all the hallways and classrooms and couldn't find him, so the dean instructed the teachers to resume teaching but to keep all the doors locked and to not let any students leave for any reasons. The most disturbing part, however, is that
Did one of the janitors find a guy in one of the closets?
the janitors working the night shift found the man sleeping in one of the storage closets near the back end of the school, and
Now what I can say is if the janitor did the janitor close the door to the cupboard, lock said door, and go get the police? Because if I was a janitor at this school and I was working a night shift and I saw a person there and they might potentially have a gun or something, I'll just quietly close the door, get my key out, and then lock the door. And then after that, I'll go get the police. That's what I'll go do. Because I'll go to the office, tell them that I found a guy I found a guy who's one of my crazy. He has a gun, and I managed to lock the guy. Well, I found a guy sleeping in a cupboard. He's armed with a gun, and I managed to close the door and lock it. So what we need to do is we need to dial the emergency number, call the police, and have them come in and go so they can come and arrest the guy. If it was me, that's what I would do. And I hope the janitor did that.
according to rumors that were spread by my peers, sticking out of his pocket was a .44 Magnum. The janitor must have done something stupid to wake him up. For example, leaving the closet door open, because by the time a police officer could arrive on the scene, the man was gone. My entire class, as far as I know, to this day, has no idea if this man was ever...
Yeah, I don't blame the janitor for walking away to get the police, but couldn't the police officer, not police officer, could the janitor just close the door and lock it, so that way you can have to keep in having the person with the gun locked in the cupboard, because at least that way when the police come to grab the guy, they can at least you don't have to worry about the guy escaping.
Found, but I like to think that right now he's being given the proper help that he needs.
Story 2.
My school has two lunch periods. First lunch period is for all 6th graders and some 7th graders. The second lunch period is for the other half of the 7th graders and all 8th graders. The lockdown happened in the beginning of October. The day the lockdown occurred, it was overcast and rainy. During the first lunch period, I heard 4 loud booms. I personally thought it was thunder, but the entire lunch crowd started screaming. I was thinking those kids were just serious pussies, but the campus security came in and started yelling at people to go into the multi-purpose room, and the kids who were in line buying lunch had to throw out their lunch and come inside.
Okay. Yeah, first off, if you hear 4 loud banging noises, that might not necessarily be from the thunder. That could possibly be a gunshot. That might be outside or something. Second, if I had a food, if we had like an all-purpose room in the school and we had to go there, I would actually take the food with me. There ain't no way I'm gonna ditch my food, because I got the food, I paid for it, and I'm intending to eat my food. And I don't give a damn if there's a freaking gunman, if there's a guy with a gun. I'm gonna take my goddamn food with me, and I'm gonna freaking eat it. I'm gonna freaking eat my food. Either that, and even if I can't eat the food, I'll grab a piece of food, and if the gunman was in front of me, I'll grab some food and throw it in the bitch's face. And I don't give a shit if the bitch tries to freaking shoot me. I'll pick up the food and I'll throw it in his face. And I don't advise anybody doing that though. The reason why I would do that is because I'm the idiot who decided to take his food with me. Just because I'm dumb enough to do that doesn't mean you lot should do it yourself. So please do not follow any dumb examples that people do, because 9 times out of 10 it would end badly.
Me and some friends went inside the room along with a huge group of other kids. Everyone was curious as to what was happening. Our multi-purpose room is huge, and the back wall of the room is made of see-through glass. When me and my friends were rushed inside the campus, security was covering the glass with the curtains, and there were adults at every exit. My friend Eric was curious, as well as the rest of us, so he asked one of the adults what was going on. When he came back, he said, "You know how right in front of TMS there's those houses?" I replied, "Yeah." "There's this mentally disabled, crazy man that barricaded himself in front of his house, and he's threatening to commit suicide and kill the cops if he's evicted. He was walking around outside of school watching kids in a weird way," Eric told us. It turned out the man was also a registered sex offender, making matters worse. We were stuck in the multi-purpose room for a whole hour, taking up 2 periods. After the whole thing was settled, we were escorted to our classrooms one...
You know, that's actually not good. That really does make it more creepy. If you, I don't recommend someone like ending their life like that, because like, if you got any problems, just go and talk to someone about it. If you're feeling down and dumb about something, because usually you feel a lot better for doing that, and also you'll be able to get help. Secondly, the fact that there's the fact that there's a guy who's been really creepy, or giving a creepy look to a lot of students, and I'm guessing he probably lives near the school as well, which makes it more disturbing. And also, if the guy is a registered sex offender, that sort of like makes that just takes the whole creepy and disturbing factor to another level. And hopefully they're able. Hopefully they were able to find this person.
by one. I later found out that the man lives next to my friend Brandy, who told me about the
That's not
previous
good.
Halloween when she saw the same man at his window cutting his arm and writing in his own blood, "Don't come here or I'll kill you," on his window. Of course, being Halloween, people, including Brandy, assumed it was just for the holiday. But after this horrific
Seriously? Seriously? You think it's part of some Halloween thing? Huh? Huh? I don't think anybody, if you see some crazy person doing something like that, it ain't gonna be part of a Halloween thing. Like, if the person took like had a tin of red paint and then painted something like viewers beware, or something like that, or visitors beware, or this be haunted ground. If a person painted something like that on the wall in red paint, I can understand that. I can understand that because that'd be part of a Halloween thing. Yeah, or if they had a sign and they used red paint saying visitors beware. They're saying visitors beware or something like that. Then yeah, fair enough. I can see that being part of a Halloween decoration. Just to because the person's just getting to the Halloween spirit. But if the person wrote down that disturbing message about harming people, if they end up trespassing, and the person used to literally cut their arm and use their own blood to do it, then that's probably best. It'd probably be best to stay clear of that place, unless you want to, because for you know that person could be very serious and could very well do that.
incidents. We knew this man was mental, and we're glad he never got near us.
Shall we react to the third story? Yeah, why not? Let's react to the third story, shall we?
I'm 22 years old, fresh out of college, and I recently got a job at my old high school as a sort of computer intern in the school basement.
Okay, that's
The
kind
basement
of
of the school
random.
is very messy and disorganized, but there is a small 3-person office that's actually very nice down there. It has 3 nice big desks, 2 mini fridges, a flat screen TV mounted on the wall, and oh so satisfying air conditioning, a luxury.
Oh, now that sounds awesome. If there's a workplace like that, then yeah, I will go and freaking work there. Yeah, honestly, I would go and work in a place like that if it's got like a if you got a really good if you got a good thing like that set up.
The students and teachers cannot enjoy in the school. And of course, all the school servers and other computery stuff.
Okay, I can understand the air conditioning because of all
I got
the
the job
tech
because
that's down
3
there.
of my old computer teachers flat out adored me. I could actually consider them as real friends, not just teacher figures. So they
Yeah, that
all
makes
helped
sense.
tremendously in landing me this job. It's been great. Until something that happened a few weeks ago. My 2 co-workers that shared the office with me, Dave and Gary, weren't in the office at the time. They were upstairs working on papers or whatever. I was eating my sandwich during my lunch break when I got a phone call from one of the women in the front office telling me the school was on lockdown and that somebody, possibly armed, had entered the school. There wasn't much that I could do other than turn off the lights because, surprisingly, as nice as this little office was, it didn't have an actual door to it, just a big opening, and the door to the whole basement didn't even have a working lock. For my own safety, I did turn off all the lights in the office.
Okay, that's not good. In a lockdown situation, you really don't wanna That's really not a good thing to have happen. That there's no that if you don't have like an actual door to the office, and even if you did, you got no working lock for the door. Yeah, that's you best hope the government don't come down to. Now, if this person has a gun, like the previous people in the last two stories have, I hope this person don't have I hope this person doesn't have well then you best hope this person with a gun doesn't come down into the basement, because then you're really buggered.
Office and my computer screen. I kept my phone on the desk, texting both Gary and Dave, but they wouldn't respond. I sat down there in the dark, playing games on my phone for like 20 minutes, waiting for the call from up front to tell me to resume working. I had no idea what was happening. I couldn't hear what was going on upstairs from down here. But I was not allowed to make any calls until I was informed that the lockdown was over. Then the noisy basement door opened. As the creaking echoed across the basement and into my office, I sat up from my seat, wondering if I should call out Gary or Dave. I was eager to get some info from them. Some of them came running down the stairs, and their footsteps were approaching my office. I pushed away my chair and crawled under my desk.
Smart move.
Somebody entered the office, but did not turn on the lights. There was just silence.
Don't say anything.
I can't even describe the fear I was experiencing. I felt like if I made one sudden noise, I'd be a dead man. Suddenly, my phone dinged as I got a text message.
Oh, come on.
I felt my entire world shrivel up and die at that one moment, as I clenched my teeth in fear. Footsteps suddenly moved closer to me until I finally dove out from under the desk in capitulation, begging whoever it was not to kill me. And just then, someone grabbed my arm and pulled me up. It was some guy in a red plaid button-up, jeans, and a reddish-black cap. He told me, "It's okay, I'm just down here hiding with you." "What's going on up there?" I whispered to him. He kind of ignored my question and asked me if there's an exit down here. I told him, yeah, around that way. Before he could do anything else, I asked him, "Who are you?" There was a brief moment of silence. Before he started explaining, he was coming in to pick up his son when a teacher told him to hide. After his explanation, I checked my phone and saw the text I received was from Dave. It said, "Dude, this is fucking crazy. Some guy with a gun shot Mr. Buckley. He's wearing a red shirt and hat. Whatever you do, don't come upstairs." I was about to reread that text out loud to the man.
Send a reply to your friend saying that the guy with the red shirt and cap with the gun is downstairs in the basement with you. You must quickly send that text without saying anything to the guy. Don't tell the guy you got that text. Don't tell him. You tell the guy about that text, he is gonna whoop your ass.
And until I realized, I looked up and felt my stomach sink.
He's gonna whoop your ass.
The man seemed to catch on to my suspicious stare. Panicking, all I could think to do was to run.
He's gonna whoop your ass, man! Quickly get the hell out of there!
Echoed through the basement, and I could hear the bullet ricochet off something metal in the darkness. But thank God the bullet missed me, and I made it upstairs. Fortunately, police were waiting at all exits, including the basement exit, and caught the man the second he opened the door.
Oh, that's good.
More good news. Our teacher, Mr. Buckley, survived the gunshot.
Oh, that's lucky.
It was later determined that the man and Mr. Buckley had some beef for whatever reason, but that was never revealed. All we know is that Mr. Buckley couldn't have done anything that would have warranted this kind of reaction. And I know that the sound of that gunshot will forever echo in my mind.
Well, that was messed up. I'm glad that ended the last story. The teacher, Mr. Buckley, was able to survive. I'm glad he managed to make it out okay. And at least they caught the guy, which unlike in the previous two stories. Yeah. I hope you all enjoyed the reaction video. the link to this video, the 3 creepy true school lockdown stories. The link to this video will be in the description box down below, and it's on Mr. Nightmare's YouTube channel. Go check out some of the other videos he has, and hopefully without me commentating, and plus you don't want to have to see my ugly mug. And until next time, goodbye.